What's up, guys? This is more of a short one, bit serious. I gotta take a breath for this one. Long story short, man, deal with your ish, deal with your stuff, take care of your business, man. Like, I know it's hard times for a lot of folks, but let me just kind of give you the little replay of what's been going on lately. It's kind of a spontaneous video I'm posting right now. Not too sure if I'm posted early or if I'm posted on Wednesday, but I just want to get this out there. Man, accountability is so important. Not even that. There's something I like to call social credibility. So if someone tells you, hey, I'm going to be there at this time, or yeah, let's make it happen, and all that stuff, and they bail on you, man, like, that just like cuts off points. It's a letdown. It's a disappointment. It's like, man, I was expecting to see you here at this time, and you said you were down for this, you said you were down for that, and things just fall through, and man, like, man, I get it, man. Like, everyone has their stuff. Everyone has their things. Just saying, like, let's deal with our addictions. Let's deal with our parts of ourselves that we can work through certain ways. Like, find healthy outlets. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah. Good friend of mine. Hope he's not completely bailing, but and I also wish him well and hope he's taking care of himself. But man, I think sometimes we kind of get in these modes and we're in these pits where we stay in these pits, and you have a friend that's trying to reach out and be like, hey, let's do this. Let's go hang out. Let's spend some time together and work through this stuff through other channels outside of our regular means of falling into the same patterns. Like, let's try something new. Let's go out and go dance, or go meet some people, meet some new people and stuff. Yeah. Other people's time is very important. Other people's time is very important. Other people's energy is very important. Like, once someone falls into wasting or using or cutting off someone's plans based off of something that's made, that's a cut on social credibility. And what is social credibility? This isn't that social credit thing that's going on on in the Eastern nations and things like that. This is more like, for instance, let's say, like I said, there's a time that you have something that you want to work something out with somebody with. Like, hey, I want to meet you here at this time. If that has been like cut where it's like, okay, a person's 10 minutes late or 5 minutes late, or even they hit you up and they bail out and they say, hey, I'm not going to make it due to yada, 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 and they agreed to be there at that time. I get it. Things happen. But after a while, it's just kind of like, man, it kind of cuts that respect a bit. It kind of cuts that credibility of that person. Or let's say, for instance, not necessarily having to do with time, but making sure someone has a clear head or clear mind, or if they're prepared for something. Like, hey, be prepared for it. If you're not prepared for it and you say you're going to be prepared for it and your word is in there and then don't follow through with that, that's a cut on social credibility. Or you see certain patterns in people that they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and they just not going through with it, and they're making this kind of contract, not necessarily contract, but contract of word, and they just not follow through with it. It's a cut on social credibility. So it's just like, standing firm, being there for your word and yourself, and really holding that dear, because that really does affect a relationship. There's certain people I don't deal with anymore because of that. Like, we might have been good friends for a while, but after so many times of that happening, like, I hold people to a standard. If they just not they're not going with the conditions of what we agreed upon. It's like a business, man. It's like credit card. Like, if you spend a certain amount and you spend over a certain amount, or you're not paying those bills on time, or you're not working through it and building that good relationship and making something stable, it really affects the relationship. So all those people out there that, you know, are dealing with something like this, really, I'd say check your boundaries with people, check those kind of things, see what you tolerate with people. Um, Also, like, not necessarily have to be too hard on the person. But as you see, if it's a pattern, just call the person out. Be like, hey, man, I see this is something that you do on a regular basis, and my time's important, my energy is important, and please respect that, because I like to respect yours. So that's something very important. Or even, for instance, like, let's say having to do outside of a one-on-one personal relationship. Going back to what I was saying in the last video, man, I didn't hit those streaming days that I said I was going to hit due to some other things. Like, yeah, I know life happens, but if it becomes a certain pattern, how does that make me look as somebody that's on this platform or on these other platforms? Does that make me seem credible? Does that really give the attention? Like, am I going to really gain some eyes and some views based off of my content if I continue on, having that pattern of not being consistent? Like, how does that make me look? Like, no one wants to watch somebody that's inconsistent and doesn't have their plan together for a while and just keeps on just chugging along, making it just work. Like, yeah, we want it to work, but we want it to be optimal. We want it to be like something I can tune into, or we can tune into, to make sure that it's some content that we actually want to watch because it's reliable. It's something reliable, information or entertainment or things like that. It's like a job. Like, if I'm not going to work on time every day, how does that make me look in the business? How do the higher ups or whoever look at me as somebody? Like, I'm more replaceable in that sense, especially starting a new job without the credibility of my work ethic and everything going in. Like, man, yeah, let's just cut him and just have somebody else come in that really wants the job. So yeah, they'll give the other people a shine and some attention, and yeah, I think that really cuts respect from the viewers and the people listening. So I don't know, just hold that. And then to the people that are going through the thing where they're not holding a good standard of social credibility, my word to them is, man, if you need help, go seek some help. Go find some healthy patterns. Maybe check in with oneself. Give himself some time to really reflect and see how you feel about not being there for yourself, and then see how you feel about not being there for someone else, and just see how that reflects and affects the relationships between you and other people. Like, yeah, just really take account of that, because it's so important, especially this day and age where this is all about connection, man. Human beings all about connection. If you're not being connected with other people and you're not working through things, how are you gonna really function and live life responsibly in a way where you can build healthy relationships with people? And I think that really reflects relationships as well. Like, you look at some of those people that don't really have great social credibility, you look at their relationships, with certain folks, and yeah, it kind of filters out some of the good folks. I say good folks, but healthy, sustainable folks, with some of those more flighty individuals that are still trying to work things out and have all these other issues. Like, it reflects the relationship. So just really take account of that, and yeah, take care of yourself. Like, I get it, staying up late doing what we do, or sleeping late, or doing the same old habits. Like, I get it. It's something easy to fall into, but in order to really change and grow through all that, gotta change it up. Gotta have some kind of schedule. Gotta have some kind of feeling, and apologies. Apologies after a while don't mean much after after that's happened like 4 or 5 times, or even less than that for some people. So yeah, yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. Just know that you're doing this for you, and you may have some people that are still there to look out for you, if you do slip up. So respect them too, because those are the people that really matter. Anyway, that was kind of a long rant, but yeah, really check in with one's social credibility. See how we're accountable for ourselves, and hold that accountability first, and then see like how you work through relationships in that manner, and connections. And I'd say with good social credibility, man, you could do whatever you want. Like, just don't do the bad thing. Be there on time, hold your word, do things at a certain standard, and yeah, just live a good life. Anyway, that's it for me in this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. There'll be more stuff coming. All right. Peace.